Hello everyone, welcome to this week's review. This week we're going to be looking at this pen, which is the Pelikan 400NN fountain pen. Now, I apologize for my haggard appearance, but it's finals week. It's finals week next week, so everything's a little hectic right now, but I thought I would relax a little bit by doing something I enjoy and giving you a look at the pen that is getting me through finals week. So let's take a look. So the Pelikan 400NN fountain pen is a vintage piston filling fountain pen made by Pelican, and it is the redesign of the 400N, which was a redesign of the 400. I believe the NN stands for Noi Noi, so it's like the new 400. It has rounded ends instead of the flat ends of the original 400. The 400NN has a gold nib with the Pelican engraving, which I really like. There were different Pelican engravings throughout their history, and this one on this pen is one of my favorites, as well as an ebonite feed and a beautiful brown tortoise striped celluloid body. It came in various colors, green stripes being the most common. But this is definitely one of my favorite celluloids in general. It's a perfect mix of beautiful but also practical because you can see the ink level through the stripes. The gold nib itself is actually it's just a really good writing experience. It's smooth. It's slightly stubbish actually, and it has the perfect amount of flex for everyday writing. I really enjoy a bouncy nib, and this is really one of my favorites for that style of everyday writing where you just get in that state where it's really good, trust me. And it also has an ebonite feed which keeps up with the flexiness really well. Interestingly enough, the fins on the feed are vertical instead of horizontal, which is what you see on most modern feeds, but I haven't had any burping issues or flow issues with the feed. It's been rock steady the whole way. And like I mentioned, it is a piston filler. Really nothing to complain about there. Just a classic Pelican piston filler. Works great, is really smooth. You can unscrew the nib unit if you need to reapply some silicone grease to get the piston filling mechanism working smoothly again. And I've had zero problems with it so far. I've had this pen for about a year and almost a year and a half. It was the last pen that I bought in person before and yeah, I bought it from Bittner, The Pleasure of Writing in Carmel, California. It's a great little store. They really have an awesome selection, and they're offering some vintage Pelicans. They had a few green striped 400NNs, but this brown tortoise just really stood out. I've been looking for this model, had been tempted for it for like a year, and I finally decided to pull the trigger, and I've been using it really as a great everyday writer ever since. I even use it like in class for that short period of time between when I bought it and before classes went online, and it was a great writer for that. So over that period of time, I have really come to love this pen. But yeah, not only just with that celluloid, but just in general, this is a really nice looking pen. It has that Pelican Beak clip, which is, really easy. It's really easy to use. You can just slide it into any old pen case, no problem. It has that pointed finial with the Pelican logo. Two chicks on this one. I know there have been various iterations of that logo over time. Yeah, two chick Pelican logo, and then a sort of bullet-shaped piston turning knob. It looks kind of black at first glance, but in the sunlight you can tell it's brown, like a really dark brown, and it matches the celluloid again perfectly. And then around the cap band it says Pelikan 400 Germany. Just overall, a really good looking pen. Not super flashy, of course it's got a little bit of fanciness with that celluloid, but I think it strikes that perfect balance between utilitarian pen and like fancy, beautiful pen. It's right in that perfect middle area, and I think it sits in that sweet spot absolutely perfectly. But yeah, this pen was made sometime in the 1950s, and it is still as sturdy as ever. Unlike the Omos that I was talking about, that was built in the 90s, and I'm still kind of afraid to use it because it's a little fragile. But this pen, it can handle pretty much whatever you throw at it. It's tremendously well constructed. The piston filler feels solid. The material itself screws together nicely. Don't feel any part of it is fragile in any way. And I mean, it's withstood use for 70 years now, so that's pretty great. When I was reviewing the Aurora Optima, I mentioned that for me, the Optima is the perfect modern pen to give you all of the next level steps for owning a fountain pen. A gold nib, ebonite feed, piston filler without any more bells and whistles. And while I still stand by that for the Optima, I do have to say it's the exact same case here, and this pen, if you can buy it used, is nowhere near as expensive as an Optima and still offers all those great things. My phone just ran out of storage, so I don't know how much of that recording was cut off. But yeah, we're going to do a writing sample, we're going to do a size comparison, but all in all, this is a great pen in my opinion. It fits all three things that I care about. It's fun to use, it's practical, and what was the third one? Oh yeah, it writes well. So yeah, let's take a look. Okay, here we have a size comparison. First we have the Pelikan 400NN compared to a Lamy Safari, a Sailor Pro Gear, and a Conid Minimalistica. So you can see it's definitely a smaller pen. It's on the same sort of level as the Sailor Pro Gear, where it's not an undersized pen, but it's just, kind of small. It's not, I don't know, I'd say it's a practical size. You can definitely see uncapped it shows that Sailor is not as good as fitting pens into their caps, but yeah, it's definitely more of a its size definitely makes it perfect for everyday use, is what I would say. Okay, here we go with the Pelikan 400NN Brown Tortoiseshell. I don't think that's the official name of this celluloid, but it's what everyone seems to call it, so. The nib is a 14 karat, they use C for carat, medium nib. And then the ink is Diamine Lombato's Hat. Great purple ink. You can see, without using any pressure, it's still a pretty wet pen. It's got a good flow, very reliable. And then you can see, you can really get some good flex out of it. I lifted my pen off the paper there, sorry. And then of course if you use a little pressure, the flow increases as well. So yeah, it's absolutely one of the best writers in my collection. It doesn't excel in one particular category in terms of it's the smoothest pen I have or the flexiest pen I have, but it's just a fantastic all-around writer. Jumps over a lazy dog. And yeah, it's from an era where that was the priority, just a good everyday writer, and this definitely reflects that. So yeah, this is a pen I would absolutely recommend. If you can see it on the used market, if someone's selling a restored one, I mean, they probably still work because I haven't really heard of the piston mechanisms failing, but highly recommended, and I can't say enough good things about this pen, really. So if you enjoyed this review, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to like the video and let me know what you think of the pen or any other thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you around. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.